You think aging is slow and gentle? Think again. I retired at 59, ready to travel, hike, and just breathe easy. But then 60 hit me like a freight train, not financially, but physically, and I wasn't prepared for how quickly things would change. I wanted to know why, and what I found shocked me. There's a reason these changes hit so fast, and what I've learned could save you thousands of dollars and years of mobility. So today I'm taking you behind the scenes of exactly what I'm doing to fight back. One day I was running errands, climbing stairs, biking the trails without a second thought. Then suddenly, regularly, I'm waking up stiff, sore, and wondering, when the heck did everything change? And I'm definitely feeling it this year. Arthritis in my hips, tendonitis in my arms. Honestly, it feels like I turned into my grandma overnight. Scientists at Stanford say we don't age slowly. We actually age in bursts. And one of the biggest bursts comes right around 60. These changes don't just affect how you feel, they ultimately affect how much you spend. I'll share one simple change I made recently that's helped my recovery, my energy, and even my mood. And it's probably not what you'd expect. So let's talk numbers for a second. If your monthly health insurance premiums are $500, that's $6,000 a year before deductibles or any surprise bills. One bad diagnosis can snowball costs overnight. So it makes sense that protecting my health will also protect my financial future, because you can do everything right financially, but if you lose your health, your money won't last anyway. So I've started making changes, not big, complicated ones, just simple daily habits that add up. The very first thing I had to focus on was sleep, because it impacts everything. If I don't get enough sleep, I'm cranky. My memory goes to crap and I feel exhausted. Sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's when your body actually heals and repairs itself. Your brain processes memories and your hormones rebalance. It affects your immune system, heart health, weight, and mood, and even long-term health and longevity. Once I understood that, I knew fixing my sleep had to come first. That's when I started looking for ways to improve it. And honestly, upgrading my mattress turned out to be one of the biggest game changers. I also committed to getting a solid 8 hours of sleep every night. And that means I go to bed around the same time every night. And that was just the beginning. Once I started waking up rested, I had more bandwidth to tackle my diet, my workouts, and everything else that helps me stay strong at 60. So my next focus was on my nutrition. Here in the US, nearly 50% of people over 60 have metabolic issues like insulin resistance or high blood sugar. They don't just affect energy, they can wreck your retirement budget in big ways too. Diabetes alone can cost nearly $10,000 a year, and complications can more than double that. I don't want to be part of those statistics, and I certainly don't want those medical bills. So after talking with my doctor, I switched up my diet to food that actually fuels me instead of slowing me down. I aim for high protein, about 3/4 to 1 gram per pound of my ideal body weight, which has made a huge difference in my strength and my overall energy. And I make sure that half my plate is veggies every meal. And I'm not talking starchy potatoes. Carrots, broccoli, zucchini, salads. I try for a lot of variety. Now, reducing inflammation has been more challenging for me. I have an autoimmune disease, and what I eat can trigger flare-ups. For me, gluten, dairy, and sugar are the biggest culprits. When I eat them, I feel it almost immediately. My joints get stiff and sore, so much so that it's painful to get out of bed the next day. And yes, donuts are still my kryptonite. Glazed, powdered, it doesn't matter. I haven't met a donut I don't love. but not keeping them in the house has been a lifesaver. If it's not in my pantry, I'm less likely to eat it. Little choices like that make a bigger difference than I ever expected. Movement has been another big shift for me. I used to think working out meant going hard, but after 60, I've learned less can be more. What worked in my 20s and 30s isn't right for me now. And the wrong kind of workouts can actually make you feel worse, especially if you have arthritis, while the right kind of movement can keep you strong and mobile. Now I focus on barre and Pilates classes twice a week because maintaining flexibility is just as important as being strong. And honestly, they are a lot of fun. I bike when the weather's nice and add short strength training sessions a couple of times a week. What types of fitness activities do you like to do? Drop it in the comments. I'd love some new workout ideas. I also walk regularly, which has done wonders for my hips and joints. Another not so fun fact, after 40, we lose 3 to 5% of muscle mass per decade. That is huge. Without strength training, you're not just losing muscle, you're losing mobility and your future independence. But here's the good news. Just 20 to 30 minutes once or twice a week is enough to slow that down. The last piece of my playbook is hormone balance. And it's not just women who feel it. Men go through hormonal shifts too. That's one of the reasons that I also practice intermittent fasting. It's helped boost my metabolism and keep my energy steady. Fasting gives my body time to do the cellular repair that it needs. Most days I do a 14-hour fast. For me, it's pretty easy. I have my last meal of the day by 5 p.m. Then breakfast around 7 or 7:30 the next day. When I look at everything I've changed, sleep, food, movement, I feel better at 60 than I did at 50. But the biggest shift hasn't been physical. It's been realizing just how connected health and money really are. Because when we talk about retirement planning, everyone focuses on the numbers. How much have you saved? What's your withdrawal rate? But the truth is, your health is part of your wealth. Every dollar you spend on healthy food, movement, sleep, and preventative care isn't an expense. It's an investment. What good is a perfectly balanced portfolio if you can't walk the beach, travel, or even get out of bed without pain? And what good is having $1 million saved for retirement if half of it goes to paying medical bills? So instead of just asking, do I have enough money? Also ask, am I taking care of my body today? Retirement isn't just about numbers. It's about staying healthy enough to enjoy it. If you're curious to see how I've set up my savings for a more flexible and secure retirement, check out this next video on my 3-bucket strategy.